It's really a privilege to be here with you today and to have our distinguished guests visit us. It's also a privilege to be at the Muhammad Ali Center. So before we get started, I'd like our ambassadors to please stand up and we'll give them a round of applause. It's not every day that we receive such a delegation here in Louisville, and it's really something that we're excited about. You know, during Derby, we do receive a lot of delegations for the horse races from all over the world, but for business and economic development, it's really fascinating to have this opportunity. So, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Aaron to give us some welcoming remarks from the Muhammad Ali Center.
It's a pleasure to meet all of you, but I have to defer because I'd like to introduce you to our new president and CEO. It is his first day at the Muhammad Ali Center.
You know, this is my first official meeting here at the Ali Center, and it's great that I'm doing it with people from around the world. Because as you would imagine, Ali is not just a man from Louisville, Kentucky, which we're really proud of here in Louisville. But we're also proud of the impact that he's had all around the world, and that this place serves as a magnet for people who travel from different corners of the earth to see a man who had great impact and went far beyond this community. So we thank you for being here, especially for such an important meeting. We are great friends with Omar and value the work that he does to support the work that we do here in Louisville by embracing the international community in this space. And so, welcome to this place, Joe. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome to this place. I think you guys have probably learned by now that the center itself is not open on Tuesdays, but we'd love to if we can, and there's room and time to show you a little more of the center as you guys are exiting today. I know that there's an agenda that you have to hold fast to, but this is a beautiful place with beautiful exhibits and a great story to tell, and we'd love for you to see it. So with that, Omar, I'm turning it back over to you and looking forward to participating in any way you'd love to have us here. Congratulations.
Devon, the board made a wise choice. Congratulations on your appointment as the CEO of the Muhammad Ali Center. I've worked with many of the CEOs at the Muhammad Ali Center, including the inaugural CEO, Mike Fox, way back. So I'm looking forward to working with you. Devon and I are old friends. And so, you know, the focus of international corporations is really fundamental, and we look forward because, you know, the name Muhammad Ali is very well known, as you can imagine, around the world. In all of my travels, and many of you that have traveled around the world, when you mention that you're from Louisville and you mention the name Muhammad Ali, many people recognize the name right away, and they talk about, you know, getting up in the middle of the night to watch a match of some sort, and I see the ambassadors shaking their head here when Ali visited many of the different countries. Okay, a few more recognitions. I'd like to recognize my good friend, Honorable Greg Fisher, former mayor of Louisville. And I'd like to recognize my board, board members from the World Trade Center, including Prashar Joshi, the chairman of the board. Wonderful. Okay, now I turn it over to Ambassador Ted to give us also some welcoming remarks.
Thank you. It's really an honor and a privilege to be here at the Muhammad Ali Center. We did, even though we haven't seen much, we did have a chance to see that opening film, that orientation film, and whoa, it's very powerful. And I think also powerful for those who come from Southeast Asia and those who are diplomats who committed themselves to peace. So to see the inspiration of Muhammad Ali, to know about his connection to commitment to the world and to peace is very powerful. I want to thank the World Trade Center, Omar, and your board for hosting us today. We've had some really phenomenal Louisville hospitality since we've been here. We've been hosted by UPS, and I think Mike Kiley is here. Mike is a board member of the US-ASEAN Business Council, which I run. And it was he who gave us the idea of coming to Louisville. He said, "You won't be disappointed," and boy, were we not. We really, really enjoyed our trip here. This is our last event, but we had a chance to visit with Brown-Forman and to sample just a little bit of their product. We had a chance to go to Churchill Downs and get a sense of the excitement of the Kentucky Derby. We had an opportunity to go to the University of Louisville. And at Amelie House, we met with some extraordinary leaders. Joe, it's very good to see you again. We had a really rousing discussion there about business, about Kentucky's place in the world, about politics even. And speaking of politics, we had a great dinner last night with Mayor Greenberg and Rachel, his wife, and Secretary Knoll, who came over from working for the governor. So we've had a lot of chances to talk about how Southeast Asia and Kentucky might do things together. And ideas have come out of this visit with regard to educational exchange, with regard to business opportunities. And we at the US-ASEAN Business Council are very pleased to facilitate such exchanges. We represent 182 companies, some of the world's largest companies and some small companies that are doing business in Southeast Asia. And Southeast Asia and India together, the evidence is very clear, are the centers of global growth, probably for the next 30 years, as China was the center for growth for the last 30 years. Our 182 companies are collectively worth $7 trillion, and they employ 15 million people. And the United States is a major, major investor in Southeast Asia. The opportunities now, I think, are greater than ever before. So if there's any way that we can be helpful to any of your businesses, if you're interested in doing work in Southeast Asia, please come meet, or maybe members of my team could stand up so you see who everybody is. So Hai and Logan and Pimploy and Mario in the back. If you have any interest in working with us, we'd be very, very pleased to help you out. And with that, let me just explain very briefly why we're here. We found that over the last 20 years, that we've been in existence for 40 years, but over the last 20 years, we discovered that life doesn't begin and end within the Beltway. That America is much more than our capital. And so when we have a chance to visit different cities and states around the United States, we find opportunities for people to learn about Southeast Asia, from the best people possible to explain what's happening in Southeast Asia, the ambassadors who are here. And we have a chance for the ambassadors to learn something about the United States outside the Beltway. So the ambassadors have been asking questions about Kentucky, about politics, we're in that season, about business opportunities and educational opportunities, and it's been a great two-way exchange, and that's what we seek. Ambassador Sarbini Ali is the one ambassador who has been here before on a US-ABC tour 9 years ago. So this is his second time. You went to Churchill Downs already, I think. Your second time there. And I don't know, but the food has been pretty great both times, I would expect. But we've really been treated with the most wonderful hospitality, and I thank you for that hospitality, and we'll be sorry to say goodbye. Thank you.
Ambassador, thank you for your remarks. It's really been wonderful to have this partnership with you and your staff. The World Trade Center really, the minute you guys called, you said you're coming to Louisville, we got on and we said we needed to have a roundtable discussion with the community, the international business community. You know, my number one job at the World Trade Center is to introduce Kentucky to the world and the world to Kentucky. And, you know, it's really exciting to see all the activities that are happening here. More than 500 foreign companies call Kentucky home. Of course, we have Toyota in our backyard with the largest factory in the world in Georgetown. Definitely UPS with all their activities here. Every time I look up at the sky at 11 o'clock at night or so, I wonder how these planes look parked in the sky waiting to land. But that means commerce. And last year, 2023, $40 billion of exports left the state of Kentucky. So it means a lot to us that we continue to have this conversation. So enough said, let's move on to the heart of the program. I would like the ambassadors to please join me on stage.
All right. Turn the microphone on.
We have enough seats? Wonderful. So, as you can see, we're going to be sharing the mic here. So, if you don't mind, when you're speaking and you're done speaking, move on to the next thing. This is going to be really an informal conversation, just a few questions here and there. But to kick it off, if each ambassador, if you don't mind introducing yourself and give us a little bit of background, introductory remarks on behalf of your country.
Good evening. Thank you very much. My name is Subhini Ali, the lesser known of Ali. Not as famous. But I must say that I come from, we all come from Southeast Asia. Brunei is a small nation with population of 500 million people. Our main driver economy is oil and gas. It's a pretty safe and regulated country. And you're all welcome to visit Brunei. I was told by somebody if that we're going to send Brunei to study and you want to university for the first time. So,
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Surya. I'm the ambassador of Thailand. I just arrived in DC about 3 weeks ago, so I'm a little bit new, but not new to the United States. I grew up here, and I previously served I was ambassador of Thailand to the United Nations in New York, and was previously posted here about 20 years ago. Thailand is one of the countries which a little bit far from here, but we have a distinction, proud distinction of being the very first country in the United States signed a treaty with in Asia. So that was in 1833, 191 years ago, and guess what? The treaty was about commerce and friendship. When I presented my credentials to President Biden about 2 weeks ago, I said the treaty said something very important. It said it committed the American and Thai people to friendship and commerce for how long? It's in quotation. It's very poetic. It's as long as heaven and earth shall endure. So we're going to be here a long time, and we love doing business with we and all of us in ASEAN love doing business with the United States. I didn't grow up here in this part of the country, but more in Pennsylvania and Massachusetts. But don't hold it against me. I very much enjoy visiting here in Louisville, and we look forward to very close relations. We're very well known for tourism. From tourism to automobile production and many other industries. So talk to me, let me know. I'd love to talk to you to see whether we can enhance business links between Thailand and ASEAN, and of course, the wonderful state of Kentucky. And should I say go Cardinals? I guess, yeah, there we go. All right, thank you very much.
good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Zoom Ambassador of Vietnam to the United States, and I'm so thrilled to be here at the Mohammed Ali Center. You know why? Explained already by Ambassador Ted Osas. Mohammed Ali is a great man, and he received a lot of admirations and respect from the Vietnamese people. We know him very well, but he refused to go to fight in Vietnam. That's why he was sent to prison for 5 years. And this was a great man to us. So I'm so thrilled to be here because of that. And I'm also very proud to be the ambassador of Vietnam today at this place, at this time, when the relationship between our two countries has never been better. Last year, we upgraded our relationship to the comprehensive strategic level. And we have a strong support from the US government. And that's why there's a big interest, an increasing interest from both US American businesses and Vietnam businesses. There are a lot of companies, American industries going to Vietnam right now, especially the big delegation led by Ambassador Ted Ossus last March. And just 2 weeks ago, we, for the first time, we had more than 70 Vietnamese companies attending the Select USA event. We are among the top 5 delegations from abroad. So, we don't have much time, so we just want to welcome you to Vietnam, and I look forward to talking and working further with you, wherever here or in Washington, D.C. Thank you so much.
Good morning. I'm here. I'm the ambassador of Cambodia. I've been here for the past almost 3 years now, and thanks to US-ASEAN with Ambassador Ted, I have a chance to visit this time 3 of the states, what we call the Kentucky, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Cambodia is the youngest brother of ASEAN. We joined ASEAN in 1999, and our economy after we end our civil war and keep growing up. And, our economy is based on the 3 pillars: the agriculture, tourism, and small and medium enterprise. And US is our #1 market, and also the majority source of investment in Cambodia as well. And with the help from the US-ASEAN, we have brought many US companies to Cambodia. They have even established the American Chamber of Commerce in Cambodia as well. So we export most of our product from the small and medium enterprise, including garments, sport bags, and mountain bike, sport bicycles, and we are #2 in Asia in exporting the mountain bike. And we're looking for further opportunity, including educational training for our young people, because our people comprising of around 60% young people that they just born after the war. And we are looking for the opportunity both inside and outside. So I hope to learn more from you here, especially we try to connect with Mr. Omar, Chamber of Commerce here, so that we can work further on this cooperation. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sade Bimantara, Deputy Ambassador for Indonesia. Thank you so much for the Muhammad Ali tour and also hosting us here at the World Trade Center. I love many of the quotes of Muhammad Ali. Just relating to Indonesia and Southeast Asia, I think Muhammad Ali said something: I'm young, I'm handsome, I'm fast, and I cannot be beaten, something like that. So that just depicts, I think, ASEAN, which is young. We have a young population. Indonesia, for example, 63 million out of 270 million of its population are young, productive age. We're fast, meaning our growth is really fast, about 5%. Some of us even 6%. And handsome, well, and see Indonesia and also ASEAN countries, which are so beautiful and so many islands in Indonesia, for example, we have some Northern Islands. And Indonesia has had a relationship with the United States for 75 years. This year is the anniversary of 75th anniversary, and that relationship has grown from strength to strength. Just last year, we elevated it into a comprehensive strategic partnership when our president was here last November. And trade, investment, and tourism, we have a number of metrics that shows the boost and improvement of those trade, investment, and tourism, and including also from Kentucky. So I'm looking forward to more conversation about how we can boost education, trade, investment, and other relationships. So again, thank you so much for your time.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. I am Sisawa, Ambassador of Laos, and been here in US more than 2 years. Laos and US has established diplomatic relations in 1955. So next year would be the big anniversary, 70 years of diplomatic relations with US. So Laos and US had comprehensive bilateral relations since 2016, since the former President Obama visited Laos. So they had signed the comprehensive bilateral relations with Laos. So Laos is not a big country. We have only 7.6 million people. And the most important is Laos is landlocked country. So the government of Laos tried to make Laos landing to the other countries in the world. Laos entered to ASEAN in 1997. So after 30 years of the establishment of ASEAN bloc. So I am here to promote the bilateral relations, and this coming July 14 to 16, the Senator Tommy Douglas of US will visit Laos. So I'm very proud to promote the bilateral relations with US. The economy of Laos is not very big compared to other countries, but you can go to visit Laos whenever you go nearby. Like we are among the big countries like China, Thailand, Vietnam, and other my friend Cambodia. So it's very comfortable to go to visit there. And 2024 is Laos visiting years, so tourist years. So we are welcome all here. Thank you very much.
Good morning to all of you. Lui Tak Yu from Singapore. And thank you so much for the very warm welcome. And again to Mike and your great people in UPS for not only a wonderful tour yesterday and a dinner with the mayor and the state secretary on behalf of the governor, but it's also really giving us such a wonderfully captivating program. Singapore is a relatively young country, population of 6 million. About 40% are actually migrants. And so talking to the University of Kentucky, University of Louisville yesterday, and we were talking about welcoming migrants and the programs that they have, I think we felt a really, really good connection. Very impressed by a number of the programs, particularly the one that was run by UPS, of how they help to co-sponsor interns to come into the company, giving them free tuition, giving them an opportunity to not only be part of a vibrant economy, but also, I think, to understand better their connection to the rest of the world. ASEAN, I think, is important to the United States. Just wanted to say that cumulatively, your foreign direct investment into ASEAN, the 10 countries, is larger than your combined investments into China, India, and Japan. Right? So, very little known fact. the combined FDI into the 10 countries of 650 million people is larger than your combined investments into China, India, and Japan. So from all of us, the United States is welcome, appreciated, and needed. Singapore and the US, a very long-standing relationship. We were the first Asian country to sign a free trade agreement with the United States. It was something that was planned, negotiated during the Bush administration, Republican administration, and came into force during the Clinton administration, Democrat. So it had broad bipartisan support. Today, trade between the US and Singapore is about $200 billion. We run a small but growing deficit with the US, right? So it is a good FTA. We have both benefited. And if trade surpluses and deficits count for something, well, we run a deficit against the US. But overall, I think I just want to leave you with a lasting impression. Lest you think that the US has a smaller and smaller place in our part of the world, that is not so. It is not so at all. We welcome not only the political presence, but more than that, we welcome the business, the economic presence, and the people-to-people engagements that both our country, all our countries and the United States can share together. So thank you very much.
My name is Muhammad Nazri, the unknown Muhammad, the relation ambassador to the United States of America. This morning, my brother bullied me to making the decision that I should be the speaker on their behalf. But we all believe in God, thank God. When I came in, I saw all these chairs up here, I knew that was not going to be the main speaker. And being the last speaker, they have taken all my time. I did not say that, I'm very happy to be here. It has confirmed what I've always thought about Americans. I visited, outside of Washington. I visited many cities. And everywhere I went, the Americans are just like us, nations. Singaporean or ASEAN, the ASEAN people. You are very hospitable, very kind, forthcoming. And it's not something which I learned in one city. All the cities I visited. So it gives us hope that, our people-to-people relations will be good, our diplomatic relations will be good. And I'm very, very thankful to Ted for arranging this tour. And also to the Muhammad Ali Center. Muhammad Ali means a lot to me. Because he was a humanitarian. That's important to me. I decided to do law and become a lawyer because of to fight injustice and inequality, and that's what Muhammad Ali represented when I was young. And also, Muhammad Ali fought in South Asia. Once in Kuala Lumpur in '75. I was a young boy then. I don't tell you that I was already an adult. I was a young boy. And then he also fought in Manila. People remember the thriller in Manila. So I think he had the foresight that, ASEAN is a very important region in the world. And that's why I think he had the foresight. And he also fought for the Vietnamese. He had no reason to go there and fight the Vietnamese. So to me, I think it's very prophetic. Muhammad Ali, he went to South Asia. He's very well known there. And I would like to thank the American people, and I would like to thank the people in this center to have this center for us to learn more, to learn about this man. He's not, color is not important to him. It's just to fight injustice, to fight inequality, and these are very important to us in South Asia. I was Minister of Law. Those days in my country, democracy was not as what it is now. So we had to fight for freedom of speech, freedom of expression,
And I'm proud to say that as Minister of Law, I started triggered many laws to ensure that what Muhammad Ali wants for humanity can be seen now in Malaysia. So thank you very much for
Thank you, ambassadors. I'm going to shrink my questions to really one question to all of you, instead of having three different questions because we're running short on time. And the question has to do with, the investment climate in your country, American companies, particularly Kentucky companies that are looking to export to your country, as well as Kentucky companies that are looking to source out of your country, particularly move away from other countries in Asia and what have you. So if you don't mind, in less than a minute, quickly highlighting these 3 points in a summary format, please.
Let me just kick off very briefly. I mean, ASEAN, all 10 countries, we're open for business. We have been for a long time. Open trade and business is something that we do. And unless, you may not know it, but we are actually very well connected to ASEAN countries. When I was in charge of ASEAN Matters 3 or 4 years ago, we launched what is called the Connectivity Master Plan, which essentially allows for factors of production to move inside and towards the ASEAN countries with much greater ease. So that's just one example of what we do. So we welcome your investment and we're open to it. We welcome your tourism. We traveling freely amongst the 10 countries. We have a lot of airlines that operate within the region that will help you get from one place to another. And bottom line is that we are very friendly and hospitable to Americans, to Kentuckians, and to everyone else. So that's how we are as a community. It's called, by the way, it's called an ASEAN community. And it's not by accident. It's because we are much more connected to each other. Thank you. Just to kick off.
Thank you very much. Ambassador Surya has already talked about investment, foreign investment in ASEAN. So for Vietnam, I have said earlier that Vietnam is now a very favorable destiny for place for foreign investments. We attract a lot of foreign investment, especially from the United States. For the last, that's the first quarter of this year, Vietnam attracted more than 36 billion US dollar from the United States, from all over the world, but mainly from the United States. So we have many advantages, but one of them is our population, a market of 100 million people, and the population is very, very young and dynamic. Our young people are quite talented in STEM, and that's why technologies and innovation, etc., is one of our priority to attract investment from abroad, especially from the United States. Thank you.
I just want to add a couple of points. I think Dan has produced some wonderful booklets. ASEAN matters to US, US matters to ASEAN. Just a couple of points. One of the fastest growing region in the world, growing at from 5 to 6% annually. Well-developed youth, young generations who are rising income, so they are spending. I think, as far as ease of doing business, we are among one of the few countries that have these very good track records in ease of doing business. The other thing is we have very good investment incentive among ASEAN countries. So the last thing I want to point out, ASEAN countries has done a lot of structural reform in terms of how to make business easier. For example, mutual recognition agreements. I want to cite, for example, pharmaceutical products. If it is recognized, say, by Thailand, it is recognized by the other 10 countries. So that's how we want to make business easier.
I just want to add some point I totally agree with what my fellow ambassador just mentioned. But in terms of trade, you see that ASEAN internal trade is free flow, good free flow of services and free flow of investment within ASEAN. Outside ASEAN, we have bilateral free trade arrangement with many countries, and in addition to that, we also have the free trade arrangement as a package we call Regional Economic Comprehensive Partnership (RCEP) with 10 ASEAN plus 5 countries. That is China, Korea, Japan, Australia, and New Zealand. So we are trying to get this with India as well, but we are still under negotiation on free trade investment with India. But this thing is it's a huge incentive for investors in ASEAN countries. And apart from that, we have reformed our investment law. I think all the ASEAN officers has reformed the investment law to provide more incentive to investors in ASEAN, so we attract more FDI for the countries. Yeah. Thank you.
Maybe I just add on to it too, because the digital economy, I think you know, is going to become more and more important. And within ASEAN, we are negotiating a digital economy framework agreement, hoping to let Thailand be the lead to drive this, to conclude it by the time Malaysia chairs ASEAN next year. So that will bring the 650 million people in ASEAN even closer together, and the digital economy as a new frontier. Singapore, we are on the verge of signing a digital economy agreement with the EU, right? And so we believe that through this myriad of agreements, it is going to benefit US companies that are based in ASEAN in Singapore. And in Singapore, we have about 5,800 US companies, many of them having their regional headquarters, availing themselves of the investment guarantee agreements, our taxation agreements that we have with a number of countries. I think the truth is that the world has moved from a paradigm of interdependence to one where there is now grave concern with overdependence. So from interdependence to concern with overdependence, particularly overdependence on, say, a country or two, companies from that particular country, companies that might be owned by individuals from that particular country. And so as you look to diversify your supply chains, your trade relations, I think you will find ASEAN a very welcoming place. There's already been a shift of business activities into countries like Malaysia, Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, amongst others, and Philippines too, of course. UPS is telling us last night how much they want to grow their base in Clark, in the Philippines, as an alternative to whatever they are already doing in the region, including in China. And so I think there's much to think about, and I echo what has been said, which is that the ASEAN Business Council really is the key conduit that will link businesses here in the United States to the activities that are and the possibilities in ASEAN.
Indonesia is an open economy, and as Ambassador Surya said, we're open for business, ASEAN and also Indonesia. In the last 2 years, for example, we have reformed our regulations and laws to do with business and investment climate. So we brought together tens of separate regulations and laws into this one omnibus law. The goal is to make investment and business more friendly, right? So that's first. And second, on sourcing, Indonesia has, we have a number of facilities, tax exemptions, incentives, and others for US companies to move their sourcing from other countries into Indonesia or other countries. In fact, we are talking with a number of US companies about that as we speak. And the third reason why Indonesia is a good place to do business and invest in
is that we have a large and growing market. We have a large growing middle class as well, and young demography, source of employment, and also as a market. So I'll just leave with those three thoughts. Thank you.
For me, I agree on other colleagues in talking about. So we are member of the WTO, and of course, US-ASEAN Business Council is bridging between US and ASEAN member states. So all are similarly, we reform our investment environment too. Also. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Again, being the last speaker, I just want to endorse whatever my colleagues have said. I agree with them, so I have nothing else to say, other than say. But I just want to say that, we have a policy of don't beggar than neighbor. Because when our neighbor countries get rich, they will be spillover, and we will benefit from that. So what is important is that to make sure that the economy in our region will be better. And if you ask any of the ambassadors here, what's the progress of the trade investment between USA and South Asia, they all answer the same thing, very positive, and every year it's growing. So I leave it at that, and I hope Kentuckians will come to our region. When you come to our region, it's going to be I don't know, about 24-hour journey. So don't visit one country. ASEAN, you have to visit, you choose 4 or 10, whichever, because you have to spend more time, because the traveling time is really it's long, yeah? So please come to South Asia, you are welcome. Thank you.
So with that, I would like to thank the ambassadors for this kind of discussion. I'll build on one of the statements that was said. ASEAN is open for business, Kentucky's open for business. So over to you, Ambassador.
Thank you, Omar. I just wanted to note Mr. Sabini Ali mentioned our publication. We put this out every 2 years. Data on opportunities in ASEAN. All U.S. leaders, when they go to ASEAN, they carry this book with them. I'm going to leave these copies with Omar for the World Trade Center. But it's also on our website, www.US-ASEAN.org. US-ASEAN.org. All of this information is right there, starting with the data that Ambassador Louis gave us about investment, U.S. investment in ASEAN. But also, we also have an opportunity to share data about state-by-state trade with ASEAN. So thank you.
Thank you. And this is the conclusion of our program. Please stick around for a little bit longer for some networking and some photo opportunities.